Hey guys, what is going on? It's me, Stockton Mad of Virals Gaming, and I have an interesting topic that I have been thinking of for quite a while, but I never really got around to doing it, and that is the topic of nightmares, horror, creepypastas, the stuff that makes you want to not go to sleep at night. And you would think, being a writer, and especially a writer that enjoys that type of genre, why I haven't written a creepypasta yet. And, well, worry not, I do have a creepypasta planned called The Blurred Man, and that's all I'm going to say for now, because I will do a teaser for it at some point. But yeah, I've been thinking about nightmares, creepypastas, and I've been doing a lot of reading on creepypastas, and there are some really gems out there if you look hard enough. There are some really good stories, some good ritual ones anyway. I like reading the ritual ones because they're the type of ones that make you think, what if it were possible? But most of them are just far-fetched, but good read either way. And another thing with like the more significant, well-known monsters like Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, they kind of lose their impact. And I feel that most with the Slender Man, because he's sort of, you look him up and you see all these fan art and all these, I don't know, it's weird. It's like he's lost that horror aspect of him that made him so unknown, so creepy. And it made me think, can you give a character too much backstory? Because what makes these monsters so terrifying, so creepy as such, is the fact that you don't know about them. Because when Slenderman first really appeared, he was just this faceless thing that took people. No purpose, no apparent reason. He just did it. And there still isn't really any explanation why. But now it just feels like with all the proxies and all the other stuff in, you can weigh him down a bit. He needs to be liberated. He needs to be reinvented, remade, like a lot of TV series are these days. Remade. The Blurred Man kind of came to me as a kind of mix of ritual pasta combined with a significant monster on the other end. And then from the Blurred Man I came up with some other entities that will appear into it, including the Entity. He's pretty much a thing that exists between worlds, like a sort of omnipresent force that is greater than the one down below and the guy above. Best way to put it. Because that's what a lot of creepypastas these days centre on, the war between heaven and hell. Like, the whole just kind of venture away from that. It's sort of more like a universal whatever going on, destruction and stuff. But most pastas either involve a demon viciously mutilating yourself, mutilating you, can't say the word, or some kind of horrible thing happening to a friend, a family member, getting damned, selling your soul, all that good stuff. That's what most creepypastas are, and some of them are effective. I think some of them go too far with the gore aspect of it. What makes good horror is making sure you have the balance of the sublime with that of the actual physical raw horror. Psychological horror is a kind of hard thing to create, and on paper you have to kind of describe the right way, you have to get that imagery to a point. So I guess that's why a lot of people use the gore as a reason to kind of amplify the intense feeling of dread in the reader. And some of them pull it off perfectly. I think gore in the right place at the right time can be a kind of nail biter. I'm trying to think. There are some good stories if you look it up on the Creepypasta wiki. But yeah, I am making my own little creepypasta monster. I'm going to talk about nightmares briefly, because I've had some pretty creepy nightmares in my time, and some pretty funny ones. I'm going to start off with a pretty funny one first, and the first funny one is, I was young and I was ill, and just before I went to sleep I had a kind of coldish cup of tea. I vaguely remember it. It was in my old house in Avondale. I had my own massive double bed. The room was pitch black. It was quite atmospheric already, to be fair, and I always had this weird thing in that room. I always felt like I could see faces. Like it was weird. It was really, really weird room. I don't know why. No one else has ever created that kind of sense of being really creepy with me. But anyhow, I go to sleep, and the next minute I know, in the dream state, as I should call it, I had a fridge. And it's no ordinary fridge, no. This fridge decided to, excuse me laptop, do not fade to black when I'm in the middle of speech. This fridge decided to jump on top of me continuously. Yeah, that was the nightmare, just having a fridge crush my stomach. Yeah. The things the mind does to you when you're ill, it can be so cruel at times that you're just left wondering, why did you do this to me? I guess another weird dream involved my PS2 back in the day. Oh, the PS2. I'm standing on a cliff edge of all places with a PS2. Well, namely the controller with the cord, and you know the metal bits in the at the end of the cord. Well, what I did was put it to my teeth, got an electric shock from apparently Nout, and then just toppled off the cliff, spinning me right round until I woke up. But I have had some seriously disturbing dreams, a kind of creepypasta in nature, and are worthy almost of being a creepypasta in the way that they just scare the living daylights out of you. The first one is a sort of, I advise you, if you are quite squeamish and you don't like the idea of me describing this, feel free to click off the video and go and watch some cat stuff, go and watch another YouTuber. I would totally understand, as the topic of nightmares, creepy stuff, that can kind of put people off, and that's fine by me. Anyhow, the thing in question was, I was in my house and I was quite small at the time. It was weird. I felt like I looked younger than I was, but the way people towered over me, it was kind of one of those sort of sphere. It's hard to explain the way it looked from my perspective, but they were talking about this child killer killing things, and obviously you can guess where it's going. I go up to bed, I go to sleep, and then it's just this ominous shadow on the wall, and it's looming over me, and then the axe comes down, and just as that axe goes to hit my stomach, I wake up. My stomach is numb. It literally feels like I have been cut in half. I actually felt my stomach. The relief I felt was like that sort of sensation of holy crap, what was that all about? And here's another creepypasta one worthy. It's a particularly scary dream in that I woke up in tears. It's pretty simple. Standing on spot, couldn't move, and there's this woman in a car. And it's like she's passed out, but I think she was dead because she was just in the airbag and just burning. And yeah, I should emphasize the flames were just like erupting off it. Oh god! And if it's not, and you think it can't really get much worse than observing someone's brutal death at the hands of fire or whatever. I don't know what caused it as well. It was just there. I could hear her. I could hear her consciousness, and the screams and dying screams. That's not one of the things you would ever want to experience in a dream. And out of every dream I've had, even the dreams where I've seen monsters multiple times, I've died myself, that was one of those dreams that physically just broke me in my head. I have never experienced the death and then having to hear it even after they're passed on. Just thinking about it, every time I go to think about it, it just makes me get emotional. I don't know why. I don't understand the significance of that dream still to this day, but I can tell you now, I haven't had anything quite as bad as that. So I guess guys, just post in the comments what is your scariest nightmare and what is your ideal creepypasta monster. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have our kind of, we all love a good story. It's just in our nature. So let me know guys in the comments. I am aware that this has been quite a long one. I didn't expect it to be about 9 minutes long, and I admit I have been a bit spontaneous, but that's kind of how I wanted to keep it, because I like keeping my commentaries just off the top of my head. So if I randomly say something, I randomly say something, and I flap my arms around a bit as well, even though no one's gonna see. I'm going off a tangent again. Yeah, so expect in a couple of days. The Rykard Call Victim Part 2 will be coming out soon, when I can get that done. I still haven't really had time to sit down and actually write it because I've been really busy. I've been working this last week, so I haven't had time to just sit down and do something. I might try and work on it tomorrow before I go to see my girlfriend. But yeah, expect a sort of teaser for the Blurred Man sometime next week at the latest, and maybe the week after, guys. But I am really looking forward to doing this creepypasta series, considering how well Project Shadow was received. I thought, why not try and venture out in the creepypasta? So, anyhow guys, that's it. So if you did stay to the end, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.